All right. Additional thoughts for Youngboy Never Broke Again. AI Youngboy 2. I think given this week and some of the things I've learned about Youngboy, the most appropriate way to start the video is to say Youngboy better. That has been fun to learn about this week. And kind of fitting, honestly, given all the conflict of opinions, I suppose, that surround Youngboy. It is fun for me every now and then to watch the different fan bases kind of collide. You know, you got the old heads, and you got the trap fiends, and you got you get the Barbs from Nicki, just all these groups, right? And they all exist their own little pockets, and sometimes there's some crossover, and sometimes there's just some head-on collisions, man. And it was really funny learning about the Youngboy fan base, and apparently how it's just this thing where they'll just pop in and drop a Youngboy better. It cracks me up. I don't have a lot of notes, which is somewhat fitting, I suppose. What do you say about an album when you enjoy every single track? You've got a heart next to every single track. Oh, I actually, you know what? That reminds me. I forgot to write down my favorite songs, which is good because in the reaction I said, it'd be interesting to see if certain songs rise up from the rest as, standouts from my favorites. So let's see what we got. See Me Like It, for sure. One of my favorites. Make No Sense. Yes, for sure. Renata really grew on me. I like that one. Lonely Child, of course. Rebels Kick It, of course. In Control. I don't remember how that one goes right off the top of my head, but I remember liking that one. Where the Love At, Free Time. I don't know. I really like the last 3, 4, 5 songs. I like the whole thing. And it's been almost like a philosophical week for me in a way, because I feel like I've come full circle to this whole argument about music, and enjoying music and what it means to have good music versus bad music. And I crack up because we all enjoy music, in my opinion, for pretty much the same reasons, right? It helps us sort through our emotions. It helps us get our energy up. It helps us calm down. It's just something that we, attach memories to. And so we can recall places and friends and doing things, all this magic around music and what it does for us. And then we all splinter off, right, into these different areas of music and then vehemently defend, no, this is why this is good music, and that's trash, and that's mid, and that's, all back and forth. And the sweet irony of all of that, to me, is the fact that we're all enjoying these areas of music for the same reasons. We just define it differently, I suppose. So for me to go through this album, having spent so much time on this hip-hop journey, 2 years now, over 100 album reactions, and so much of that being focused on lyrics and how much I enjoy lyrics and complex lyrics and learning about rhyming schemes and bars and stories being told and emotions and crying. I mean, just how incredible that experience has been. And for that to be so important to me and to struggle with other albums that don't necessarily have those elements. Someone was asking, I want a re-review on the Melodic Blue. Someone else said something to think about DS2 Future. And there's another, Die Lit was another one I had a hard time with just listening and enjoying the sound, And it was just a lot of fun for me to go through this album and in real time realize, holy shit, this is great. Like, I just love the sound and I don't need anything else. And that's incredible for me specifically. That's very incredible. It's not terribly surprising because, I listen to a lot of instrumental stuff. I love instrumental prog rock. I love ambient, dark ambient. I love electronic music. Like, I don't necessarily need lyrics, but so often for me, when somebody is saying something, I go, oh, here's another level. Here's another chance to add to this experience. And so often I've just taken that lyrical portion and it's tremendously important because it's an opportunity to take a piece of art and improve it. And that's still true. I still very much hold that opinion, but it was fun for me to hold that opinion and at the same time go, It's totally fine that he's not saying anything important at all. It's totally fine that this is just a cool vibe, something fun to have on, listen to, and specifically not pay attention, because that's important too. You know, I think in music, it's a very powerful experience when you can listen to something. And I've had songs, we've all had songs where we're just in a spot in our life and whatever's going on is what's going on. And you're listening to something and maybe you've heard it 100 times before. Maybe you're hearing it for the first time ever. And this artist somehow takes all these weird, messy feelings that you've had. You can't quite define, you can't figure it out. And then they just, they turn the focus and it just goes whoop, and you go, holy fuck, I get it. Like this person just said to me the thing that's been haunting me for the last 2 weeks, month, whatever. And now it makes sense. And not that that solves whatever problem you're dealing with, but it's like now you can take step one because now you know what the actual fucking problem is because somehow somebody else, made sense of it for you. It's incredible when that happens. And it's really interesting too that maybe you're not struggling with anything, but you can almost live this other life when you hear these persons tell these stories through their lyrics and just go, this is incredible. And every time you hear the line, you hear something new and you understand another layer to it. Like I'm still listening to the Billy Woods album, Maps, it's great. It's fucking great. But sometimes, man, sometimes you just gotta shut the brain off. You just gotta. And I think it is important to have the ability to put on something where the goal is to hear it but not pay attention. As weird as that sounds. And I'm sure we all have, jazz is probably something that's great for that. It's just music, it's on, you hear it, you enjoy it, it's in the background, you don't focus on it, but it's present, And I think maybe the difficulty with lyrics is it's always this implied idea of someone saying something they need to listen, but that's not always true, That's not always true. And I did see a lot of people get a good chuckle in the comments about my comparing Youngboy, NBA to Ice Spice, right? And again, I want to clarify, even though no one's going to pay attention, I'm not comparing the music. I'm not comparing the rap. I'm not comparing what they're doing musically. I'm comparing the energy that they provide to the audience. I think one of my favorite comments was from the Ice Spice reaction where the girl was saying, Ice Spice is great to put on when you're getting ready to go out Friday night with your friends and for 20 minutes you just want to feel like a bad bitch. Fuck yeah. That's it. And, not that Youngboy's doing the same thing for guys, but I feel like this album is in the same realm of you're with your friends, you're going to go have fun, no worries, no concerns, keep the energy up, put on some Youngboy, and let's just go have fucking fun. Whatever we're doing. We're riding around the car, whatever the fuck we're doing. You just put on something cool, you got it going, great. It just keeps the energy up. That's it. There was a question that was posed. Since all 18 tracks have a heart, is it a 10? Good question. And I immediately thought no. And then I thought, well, why? Right? So we have to bring up the criteria that I have, my own personal criteria for what defines a 10. The first being no skips, obvious. That's pretty obvious. That should be anybody's criteria for a 10. Clears that bar, obviously. The next one, which is a struggle sometimes, especially for me with metal albums, I can listen to it at any time. If somebody puts on this album, if it's a 10, I'm fine with listening to that. There are metal albums that I love, but sometimes I'm not at a metal mood. That's all there is to it. Youngboy, AI2, yeah, I could probably listen to this at pretty much any time. Now, I did kind of splinter that a little bit because I thought, well, what if I don't want to listen to hip hop? That's too, because there's ambient that I could listen to at any time, but sometimes I'm not in the fucking mood for, so I was like, all right, whatever. Let's say I'm in a hip hop mood. Yes, I can listen to this at any time. Because sometimes I'm not in a hip hop mood. Sometimes I'm not in a rock mood. Sometimes I'm listening to ambient. It's just chill. The final one, and this is where AI Youngboy 2 falls just barely short. The final criteria for me for a 10 is I don't turn off the album until it completes. I don't switch it out halfway and put on something else. Not that I'm sitting in the fucking driveway for 20 minutes to let it finish, but I complete the listening experience for the album. And I think that combination of I can listen to it at any time and I listen to it the whole way through, that is what really defines the 10 for me. And while I can easily listen to this album the whole way through, I'm not necessarily going to be upset if somebody comes up on track 14 and turns it off and I switch it out. Like, actually, I think I did that on one of my listens. I was about halfway through or 2/3 through. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to listen to something else. So there you go. So I don't know how that works out in terms of like a number formula. I don't like using numbers. I know other people love hearing numbers, but I'll just leave it at that. That close to a 10, very close to a 10. My criteria is difficult to meet. There's a lot of albums that I love that, in my opinion, are not 10s because they don't meet that criteria. And there you go. What else? What else did I want to say? It was a nice break to have this album after 444, after Maps, after even Drunk by Thundercat, right? Which is this fun, kind of silly album, but when you sit down and listen to it, you go, holy fuck, there's some serious thought occurring here. So it was nice for me to take a break. Next Friday, I'm doing the new Killer Mike album, Michael. I am expecting that to be very personal and open and raw. And so, you know, it was nice to just have a moment, I suppose, of mental pause. Not menopause. That's different. Mental pause. Take a break. Just enjoy the sound. Enjoy the vocal performance. And, you know, I said this during the reaction. Fucking Youngboy, in my opinion, is a great vocalist. The way he uses his voice, the way he changes the variety in his flow, the way he sings sometimes, it brings back down, he speeds up. Sometimes he's fucking popping with his enunciation. You know, it's great. He's great. That's why Youngboy better. That's why everybody. That's why. You know, it's pretty impressive. And I was playing a couple of songs for my wife, the ones that I really liked. Fucking Brain. See Me Like It. Thank you. Thanks so much, Brain, for making me look dumb in my YouTube video. I appreciate it. I was kind of like nerding out on her a little too much, honestly. I think I turned her off on it. But I was explaining to her how I loved how much space he leaves in the chorus for our own thoughts to kind of come in, right? Like the production's pretty minimal. He's singing the chorus, but it's light, it's open, there's a lot of room there. But then you listen to some of these other songs, and his voice is doing so much work. The production is there. I don't know if I want to call it minimalist, because I don't want to, like, sometimes people take that the wrong way. It's what it needs to be, but it's not filling up the space. It's his voice that's doing all this work, and it's very impressive to me. Very impressive. So there's been questions asked. Do I plan on doing more Youngboy? Yeah, I kind of want to. I want to check out some more. The hard part is, you know, picking out which albums. There's been some albums that have been suggested repeatedly, so that kind of helps filter it down a little bit. But I would like to do more Youngboy. I think it'd be fun. I fucking like the guy. I like him, you know, and I don't know much about his personal life. Honestly, I kind of don't want to know much about his personal life. He's under house arrest. Somebody pointed out that's why the music video was him at his house, because he's under fucking house arrest. Okay. But all in all, great experience. Lots of fun. Glad I did it. Glad that marble was one of the ones to win in the marble race that helped pick out these next few reactions. And I guess that's it. Tomorrow is week 2 of Buog for June. 5 more artists, 10 more tracks. One of the artists is a returning champion. He goes by the name of Vernon Harris. He's bringing more heat to the game. And then Friday, as I mentioned, will be the new Killer Mike album called Michael. I'm very excited to hear that. This is kind of a personal choice. Not a lot of people have been pushing for it, but I really want to hear it. And I will talk about that on the opening thoughts. I already kind of know what I want to say to begin with on that. But I guess that's it. Hope you all have a great day. Hope I both hope that people continue to misunderstand my Ice Spice comparison while also understanding the comparison. Like, it's just funny. It's funny how you can say things and people won't fucking hear it. They just won't. They go, what? This ain't Ice Spice. No, I know. It's the energy. This ain't fucking Ice Spice, bro. Which then just brings me all the way back to the beginning, right? We all like our music essentially for the same reason. We just like different types of music. There you go. That's all it is. All right, y'all. Take care. We'll see you soon.